Aerial Powers' beef with Cheryl Reeve. It is Aerial Powers, the new player for the Indiana Fever, who they just signed, and her beef with Cheryl Reeve. And if you guys are wondering why this is relevant, the Indiana Fever tonight are in fact playing the Minnesota Lynx.
The WNBA believed that things couldn't get any messier, but now look at us. Aerial Powers, a recent addition to the Indiana Fever, recently rekindled her feud with Cheryl Reeve. And it's complete chaos, I assure you. It's no longer just about basketball, from old grudges to new shots being made. It's personal. The question is Aerial or Cheryl really winning this feud? Let's analyze it. Do you think that on the court, Aerial Powers will disprove Reeve? Or will the Fever suffer more harm than good as a result of this feud? Tell me in the comments below.
Indiana Fever have signed Aerial Powers to a 7-day hardship contract. A very spicy but very capable player. So let's go over everything there is to know about Aerial.
Let's be honest now. The majority of fans reacted similarly when Aerial Powers was signed by the Indiana Fever. Hold on, didn't she and Cheryl Reeve almost hate each other? Oh, of course. This rivalry isn't amicable. This is blatant animosity. The WNBA is now trying to push a new storyline on us. Since Cheryl Reeve must coach against Powers, she returns to the court, this time donning Indiana colors. Let the drama begin.
I know me, man, that Cheryl Reeve and Aerial Powers, man, was going at it when she was on that team. Now, she was signed to that team, I think, in 2022. She was actually their top scorer, now that I think about it. She was their top scorer. And all of a sudden, I don't know, they was just clashing a little bit. And then I remember Aerial Powers just coming out and just saying, hey, I want to go to a different team. I want to be on another team. She just blatantly told the world, I don't want to be here anymore, basically.
This is how it is set up. Aerial Powers was given a 7-day hardship contract by the Fever, who were already struggling with injuries and mayhem.
Why?
Because walking boots are worn by half of the roster. Caitlin Clark is undergoing groin rehabilitation. It's Sophie Cunningham. Carlson Sydney is down. Ari McDonald sustains injuries. Additionally, Odyssey Sims recently made a change. The Fever's locker room essentially resembles a hospital ward rather than a playoff team. They desperately needed bodies. Who do they call, then? The ability to fly.
She's actually coming out and saying some slick stuff about her. So it was crazy what was going on between the two. And it boiled over so bad that Cheryl Reeve actually took her out of the game and started making her play like 10 minutes, 12 minutes a game. Now, she did get injured in 2022, and then she had to come back in 2023 off of that injury. So it was kind of like probably like a Aaliyah Edwards moment a little bit with Kiki Arifin, where she kind of lost her starting position. So it was kind of like that too. You're taking your top scorer, by the way, your top scorer, and making her play less minutes. I don't know what was going on between the two, but man, they did not like each other.
This is where the juicy part begins. It wasn't like Aerial Powers appeared out of nowhere. She has existed. She has a track record of scoring goals in the league. She did, in fact, once lead Cheryl Reeve's Minnesota Lynx in scoring. And what took place? She was benched. By the end, Aerial was only playing 10 or 12 minutes per game due to the intense conflict between Reeve and Powers. Not that she lacked talent. She was, without a doubt, but Reeve decided she could no longer handle her. It became that toxic. Furthermore, we're not discussing minor arguments here. We're discussing Reeve publicly disparaging others, Powers clapping back, and the entire incident becoming so widely known that Aerial was essentially saying, "Get me off this team. I no longer want to be here." It's uncommon to see athletes vent while still bound by contract, but Powers made it clear. Furthermore, Reeve wasn't exactly asking Aerial to join her for dinner.
I tell you, she better not be sitting by me. This would be crazy. We're getting closer and closer to the door. Excuse me. Oh, this is our seat, sir. Okay. Yeah. How crazy is that? Now she's switching with her wife.
Off the field, one of that fight's most humorous and poignant moments occurred. Aerial Powers and Cheryl Reeve had to sit next to each other on a real flight. You know what happened? In order to spare her wife from having to sit next to Powers, Reeves moved seats with her alone. This cannot be made up. That's more than just work-related stress. In other words, I am unable to breathe the same recycled airline air that you do. It's elite pettiness at that level. Now fast forward to the present and guess what? The Indiana Fever is where Ariel plays. The same Indiana Fever with whom Cheryl Reeve was already at odds over Caitlin Clark. Reeve was among those who excluded Caitlin Clark from the Olympic roster, in case you forgot. Supporters in Indiana haven't exactly forgiven her for it either. You now have two blows to your head. Cheryl Reeve and her formidable Lynx are on one side, while Caitlin Clark and Aerial Powers are on the other. Boy, oh boy. The reason this is such a powder keg will be discussed. Throughout the season, Cheryl Reeve has been incensed over the MVP discussion. To the surprise of Kelsey Mitchell, Indiana showed up to a game wearing MVP shirts.
You're aware of what your teammates were going to do in terms of the t-shirt?
No, oh my goodness, I was taken back. It was fun, it was funny. I was very humbled. I was grateful for my group. I love the people I play with, and to know that they would go out their way to make something like that happen for me, it means a lot more than people know, because I have been here the longest I have. You know, everything that people talk about I have been, and to know that my teammates kind of like see me as, you know, I have value somewhere, and I feel like they make me feel like, you know, I'm important to them and vice versa, and so that value means everything to me.
Reeve wasn't having it, even though it was intended as a show of support. She taught the reporters that the best team produces MVPs by going full glasses on top of the head. And what do you know? Her connections are the greatest team. At AA Wilson, she disparaged Kelsey Mitchell, essentially saying, Nafisa Collier is the MVP, period.
He became the 19th player in WNBA history to record a triple-double less than at least 11 field goal attempts. We were just speaking last time out about role players and their strengths and how they're really a huge component to championship teams. You know, recently with Fee being out, there's been a lot of talk online, and you know, as far as media and fans, as far as the MVP race. I was just kind of wondering, from your perspective, game in and game out, what say you to those who try to discredit Fee's MVP race campaign because of having a talented roster and a franchise that cares about investment?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. We're not 23-4 in the first, whatever part of the season without the Nafisa Collier. We don't have one of the greatest 50-game runs extending from last year to this year, and historic beginning to the season. And I'd say that because our roster is constructed in such a way to win a championship, just understanding you got to have more than an MVP on your team to be successful. But we're not in the place that we're in. We have what our game lead is in first place. MVPs come from the best team, and this best team has about a 6-game lead on the rest of the league. Nafisa Collier is the reason why. It's pretty simple.
Aerial Powers' move to Indiana has reignited tensions with her former coach Cheryl Reeve, setting the stage for a drama-filled WNBA showdown. Reeve, known for her strict system, clashed with Powers' outspoken personality during their time in Minnesota, leading to a messy split. Now, with Indiana dealing with injuries and desperate for impact players, Powers is expected to take on a major role, possibly at Reeve's expense. Every shot she takes against the Lynx will feel personal, and fans are ready for the drama. With Caitlin Clark already drawing attention, the addition of Powers adds another layer to Indiana's growing story. For Reeve, it's about control and proving she made the right decision. For Powers, it's a shot at redemption. This isn't just a regular season game, it's a soap opera with sneakers to like, button, and subscribe. Popcorn is prepared.